Hello, and welcome to the Battleship Brawl Companion. I'm Evil Frazergan, and in this episode I'll be reviewing the Gargantua by Eredain. The Gargantua is actually just this big ship in the middle here. The two smaller ships are the gargoyles. This makes this a somewhat unusual entry in that it has multiple independent ships that is not connected by docking beacons or such. Yet there are the ships are not all the same. There's a few other entries like this. There's the Kawaii Kawachi, for instance, but this is definitely the less usual arrangement. So as such, I'll be reviewing the big ship and one of the small ships in turn. So let's start with the Gargantua, the big one. This ship is second in size only to the battlecruiser Amagi by Ixos in terms of block count, which is pretty impressive considering that the main ship uses up only just over half of the resource limit, with the other half being split among the gargoyles. Let's see. So, why such a large ship? Well, there is a practical reason for doing so. I don't know if this was the intent, but so if you use aim point selection, your AIs will always aim for a random ammo block, and if those aren't around, it'll aim for an AI, and that's going to be a liability since, I mean, I'm pretty sure at least around half the people in this tournament are putting ammo blocks deep underwater or on long poles or such in order to foil just such a strategy. But without a aim point card, the AI will simply choose a random block on the ship, which it will re-roll periodically. So one way to kind of try to fool the AI is to build a absolutely gigantic ship, and that way when the AI is choosing a random block, chances are that it'll be aiming far away from anything essential. And it's that kind of strategy that's going to help well, it's that kind of mechanic that's going to help a extremely large ship like this. I tried out a similar strategy. I had this ship called the Paper Tiger, which was also extremely huge, made out of wood. Trying to use such a strategy, but eventually I decided that I'd rather go with something less laggy. But it can be very effective. Just hope it doesn't collide into anything, because that will probably crash the game if you come in at a bad angle. Let's get this thing fired up. So, with only 600 power available and using only 3 cores of that, you're not going to expect a huge amount of speed from such a gigantic ship. I mean, it's impressive that it's even making over 9 meters per second here, which is probably due to its pretty good streamlining. The entire front is made out of 4-meter slopes and corners. The yaw rate, well, I mean, pretty slow as expected, just about 2 degrees per second. I'm gonna cut the engine so we don't get too far from the others when it comes time for them. Armor-wise, I mean, this ship is pretty much hollow. You would have to do that to make a ship this size. I mean, there's plenty of wood. This ship is not going to be sunk, per se, with some metal surrounding the most important areas. You see we've got the AI here inside a metal box, and let's see, where's the ammo? I think the ammo is also inside a metal box, if I can actually find it. Let's go to the show only important blocks mode. Now it does count as an important block, right? Here that already spread the ammo throughout. We see that the repair bots are spread throughout the ship. There's 32 of those ammo boxes. Are those it? It looks like they're in the front. Let's see what's around them. Yeah, they're also covered in metal. Although, granted, in this tournament, due to the massive powers of large crams, these metal boxes may be able to repel small caliber explosives, but a large caliber pen death will go right through them, which is quite a liability considering each ship only has one AI. So one lucky hit could take out the AI and despawn the ship. Apart from that, there's, I mean, big size, low per area durability, but I mean, it's big. There's not that much to say about the protection. Well, I guess there is one thing. The turrets have this unusual configuration where you've got a, I mean, there's like a huge above turret mounted armor, and then there's a outer hull melted what should I call this? I mean, it's like a castle curtain wall almost surrounding it. Kind of a unusual configuration. It does mean the turret will be hit pretty easily due to its large size. Although, also due to its large size, if the shell isn't powerful enough to actually penetrate the armor, the explosion will have a hard time actually wrapping around it. So that's at least some benefit. And of course, an explosion around here won't be able to see the turret block, so it won't affect the turret at all. A similar thing goes with the smaller ones. Although, unfortunately is this mounted all the way down on the deck? Let's see. It is elevated by one block. Well, it's possible the shell finds its way down here. It may still affect the turret being able to see the turret block. So, I mean, the best hope is that the shell will land somewhere else entirely. We also got these metal barrel shrouds, which on one hand will protect it from some damage and possibly also speed up repairs, although the ship is not super heavy on repair bots. On the other hand, it does risk some misfiring if it's only partially damaged or it's repaired in a bad order, so that the end of the actual barrel is in the middle of the shroud. But, I mean, overall, both pros and cons there. The guns themselves are actually pretty well constructed. The secondaries are pretty small internally, so it's hard to get the best efficiency out of those. But they do decently well for their size. And their warheads are a mix of explosive and fragment. This ship tends to have a lot of ammo boxes for its cannons, so that's going to mean a relatively high rate of fire, although possibly a bit excessive. These big cannons are quite efficiently built with, keep pressing Shift P instead of P. Quite efficiently built with the most important boxes, the explosive boxes, being fed by 4 autoloaders each. My one criticism is that they're probably quite a bit over-provisioned. We see we've got 103.5 explosive material, 75 hardening, and 9 fragment, and a massive 50 boxes. I mean, that's a lot to put on one cannon. And I also noticed that the arc is also quite limited. You want to be using around 50% motor barrels in order to maximize your traverse range. If things get at the wrong range, this cannon might not be able to fire on demand. But, I mean, no one can say it's not going to pelt to hurt. With such a long turret and so many pellets inside, I mean, it's going to be doing quite a big amount of damage. So, that's about it for the Gargantua. Let's move on to the Gargoyle. Let me warp to one here, the one I set up with controls. Basically, built on the same principle. It's pretty big for using only about a quarter of the material limit. Once again, we have a mostly wooden ship. The eye there. Is that the ammo in the back? Yep, that's the ammo in the back. Only one agent, it looks like. Yeah. So it does share the big one's lack of redundancy. See, it's also encased in metal here, but again, will only stop relatively small caliber high explosives. The cannons are quite good. Again, efficiently built. Though, as with the main ship, the firing arc is very limited, and probably a bit excessive on the number of ammo boxes. But overall, some of the better built cannons in the tournament. Skipped over speed here. See what it does. Yeah, it looks like this one's even slower than the main one. We're making about 7.5 meters per second. Yaw rate is a bit better, about 3 1/3 degrees per second. So pretty slow ship, but decent firepower with these cannons. Yeah, not much else to say about these small ones. It's built on the same general principles as the big one, just, I mean, smaller. Yeah. A very enormous design. An interesting strategy, intentional, whether it was intentional or not. It'll be interesting to see where this one goes in the rest of the tournament. Good luck, Eredain. Wish you the best of luck in the rest of the tournament. I'll see y'all next time.